more passion and agony vow. I know now something I did not know before. I know.
Broken Wings is essentially a autobiographical story about the early life of Kahlil Gibran. Gibran is the third best-selling poet of all time, but a lot of people don't know about him, and this is an opportunity to sort of examine his roots and some of the events in his life that laid the foundations for his more famous work later on.
It's basically a love story between two people who unfortunately are not allowed to actually be together. It's an epic romance and it sweeps you off your feet.
The piece is set between America and Lebanon, and it basically tells the story of him going back to his roots, learning more about his heritage, and falling in love with a girl for the first time.
It's incredibly unique. The sound of its music, the orchestration, the world it's set in the Middle East, in Beirut, a melting pot of different cultures. And it really is a really intimate piece, but with huge intensity, both musically and emotionally. And I just think that, you know, you feel like you're actually inside the story when you're in the Charing Cross, in this tiny little theatre, that close to the actors. And I think, you know, that experience is quite unique compared to, you know, the larger musicals in the West End at the moment.
The novel of Broken Wings, it's really, really well suited to an adaptation. It's written in very short chapters, which are essentially like scenes. And they're all written in the first person by Gibran as though he is narrating the story. And the combination of those two things just sort of immediately said to me, this is the play. This is, if you're going to write something about Gibran for the musical stage, this is it.
I've been involved in the project for almost 4 years now, and to try and find out more of a backstory of Gibran's mother is quite tricky actually. There's not too much out there that you can find. However, a lot of his poetry references to his mother, and, you know, word for word, I think in the piece, you know, he actually says she's the greatest inspiration I know. And I think that was one of the reasons he was a real he was really feminist and, you know, championed women and the rights that women should have.
I think working on a new musical is great because it gives you the freedom to be able to do what you want with the character. I think one of the things about big, long-running West End musicals is that you're kind of stepping into someone else's shoes and hitting the spots they hit when they went into it however many years ago they did. And it's really refreshing to have a freedom to do what you want to do with the character and bring yourself to it, so that then in years to come there's still parts of that go with the production as it moves forward.
Yeah, I totally agree with Lucca, especially because I think you have the chance to discover a lot about yourself too, because Selma is kind of a new character, and it's nice to be able to shape it as I think she might be, of course with the help of Nadim, who wrote the musical, and reading, of course, Broken Wings and everything. It's very nice. It's a very beautiful feeling, though, to be able to put in Selma some of Noah, too. I think it's very unique and a very beautiful feeling, too.
There was something very unique about Broken Wings, and I'm attracted to doing pieces that are unique and different and giving voice to new writers and new stories and celebrating cultures that maybe we haven't seen on stage before in this way. So all of those things just made it a project for me.
I think that audiences can expect a really nice combination of learning something new about Gibran himself and maybe about Lebanon too. I think the piece reveals a lot about the cultural sort of makeup of Lebanon and how much of a wonderful melting pot of ideas and history it is. And I think it might change people's perceptions of the region.
I hope audiences take away a feeling of home and belonging that is evoked from watching our piece.
The beauty of the romance. Is that a good answer?
Yeah, stunning.
To love who you love.